The teams are lining up. The stands are absolutely full.
Absolutely packed.
There are about 5 other pitches here today that aren't being live streamed. I assume if they're not being volunteering, they're probably here.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, there are like 5 other games going on right now. There's, I think, about maybe 3 other games going on right now. And you look at the stands and you know that every spectator here who's not playing and not volunteering, not reffing, is here at this match. We've also got, and those are the stands that are just off to the left. We've also got down behind us, behind the camera here, which you won't be able to see. On the left, on the American end, we've got a swath of American supporters. On the right, we've got a swath of Australian supporters, as well as some Euros behind us. Everyone clinging to the last scraps of shade. All right, so here we've got, starting out in the lineup, we look like we have Dean Rodhouse, Nathan Morton starting as beaters, both very quick. Cal Mailing starting on as keeper, and Big Boy Kolf, as well as Taya Rawson and Cassie Menkhorst. On the left, the Americans. I don't recognize them so well. Do you recognize them, Suraj?
From this distance.
We've got number 19, number 15, number 20. If we can grab those numbers. Cole Travis. Simon.
Lorenz.
And the American cheer squad are getting into it. Casey Owen as well starting on for the Americans. Both sides starting with 2 male beaters.
It's also a battle of the cheer squads.
Yeah, battle of the cheer squads. It's going to be interesting.
Bruins
and we're
up.
in. Quaffle goes wild. Bludger control goes to the Americans. As does the Quaffle. All balls going to the Americans. Americans immediately subbing off. They clearly had a sub for just brooms up. Coming on now at number 27. That's Hallie Pace.
There's number 10, Augustine Monroe. Several-time national champion in the USQ. A member of the 2012 squad. Was not here the last time.
Oh, big cut tackle there from Kolf. But number 10 is not phased in the slightest.
I know, passes off to Lorenz.
Monroe, Augustine Monroe.
Back to Augie.
Oh, nice little beat on Morton. But Dean picks it up. Oh, he makes the shot, but he hits Kolf, missing the American beater. She throws back anyway. Looks like the Aussies held the defense. They have bludger control.
The USA playing rather patiently, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, waiting for the beaters to open a lane.
Ooh, bit of confusion there. Someone was after a beat, but the American's not pushing on it. Oh, Kolf with a big tackle. The Quaffle goes wide. He gets to an American. He's running back. He's going to reset it. Morton loses his broom. The Australians have no beaters.
Bermuda is with the Quaffle. Dishes it off to Monroe.
But Kolf's in the way. You can't drive through Kolf. And he gets the beat on Monroe.
No
Sorry,
goal.
on Simon, sorry. And no goal. The Australians are pleased. That was a very tense defense from the Australians. A very tense just play from everyone. And here's the Australian chants. The Australians are known for their chants, and I have it on good authority that they have devised a chant for every single drop bear. So we're going to see a lot of that play. We'll probably hear the Morton one quite a few times. Oh! Oh! Oh, God!
Huge
the Australians,
beats.
oh, I love that move. I've seen the Australians practice that move. And they score!
First blood to the Drop Bears.
Drop Bears getting the first points on the board. That beater play, I've seen that used as a joke by a few teams. I've seen it used by a joke as during a drop bear training. Wow! It didn't actually pay off for them, so I guess that's why it's still used as a joke. But great mix-up for the first offense of the game. America's now pushing up.
Lorenz and Monroe.
He runs around. He gets the beat on Morton. He makes the drive.
Quaffle deflection.
Great pass through.
Monroe to
but
Lorenz.
Kolf's on him.
Shakes off the tackle.
Oh, he dodges the beat. Gets the pass off.
Back to Bermuda.
Oh, and the pass goes high. And it looks like Cal Mailing's got it. Beautiful work. We've got for the Americans here, I think, I can't quite see her number, but I think that's Hallie Pace and Cole Travis, both Austin Outlaws. Both have played with, well, yeah. Both have played with Austin Outlaws, I should say. Nice beat there from Morton. And a pass from Denny Tasman, who subbed on his beating. Taya Rawson makes the shot, gets slapped down. Aussie's in his way, and he can't make the drive. He chooses not to. Good choice, as the Aussie defense was getting back in. Cole Travis, hungry eyes. Bludger control going back to the Aussies.
Monroe and Arenz setting up again. Different wing chaser has subbed on for them as well.
Oh, and a laser clang as the Bludgers hit each other. No one beat. Emily Mary on point, giving him trouble.
Passes it wide
nice
to
beat from
Marino.
Cole. Beautiful beat there from Morton. Bludger controls. Oh, and Aussie's making the drive. The tackle's on though. He's out. He spins, and he scores.
Australia 20, USA 0.
Wow. That tackle looks tough. And the spin out of it. The way Osmond managed to pull his body out of the way. I can't imagine any other player getting out of a tackle like that.
Especially a hit from Augustine Monroe.
Yes.
He is not a small man.
No.
Known for his big hits as well as his drives. Laser accuracy as well. He's taken a well-deserved sub off, though.
Got subs now for the beaters. We've got Max Havlin coming in. Oh, but Max Havlin up against Luke Derrick. This is an interesting matchup. But the quaffle's making a drive.
Axtell down the middle. Passes to Archibald off in the wing.
Can't make a shot of a Cal Mailing.
Back to Axtell.
Mary gets in his way. Cal Mailing's in his way. Oh, a nice screen there from one of the other Americans.
Jake Archibald, keeper.
Nice safe shot there. Throwing back towards their hoops. They managed to recover it. The Americans with bludger control. Denny's giving him some trouble, but Havlin's not committing to it. He's looking for the shot on Derrick. Oh, it misses. Oh, he dodges the bludger, but it's out on hard.
It's going to be a turnover, Australia ball.
This is incredible. A nice shot there from Axtell, kind of pushing in the center. And we've got more subs coming on. We've got Damo the Viking coming on for Australia with his famed face paint, which is more for sun protection than he just doesn't like getting sunburnt. Oh, a nice big beat on Havlin. Nice beat on James Williams, who subbed on. Derrick missing the second beat. Oh, it doesn't. Nikita Van Cott. Oh, and the Americans get the hands to the ball. Ball doesn't quite get to Nikita. But the Australians, Derrick single-handedly recovering bludger control, as is his habit.
Havlin leading the charge up here.
Yeah,
Both
coming
Peters
up now.
up front.
Big trade. Looks like it's going to favor the Australians. She does not have bludger control. Ooh.
Claiming immunity, kicking a bludger back. The USA.
Hildreth coming back in now. James Williams flanking up on the left side, or on the near side, I should say.
Marina going deep behind the hoops.
He chooses not to go for it. He had Havlin's back for a moment, but he's not going to go for it. I'm loving Havlin there with his head tilted back. Big trade. And the Australians have won the bludger battle decisively. Knocks out Axtell. Knocks out the second player, number 13.
Archibald,
of course. Oh! Derrick stealing the American bludger. And now there's no bludger in the defense. Cal Mailing makes his drive. Can you block Cal Mailing? Oh! The hoop's down.
So is Mailing.
Oh! That is the perfect Melbourne Manticore play. Cal Mailing picks up every single chaser on the pitch and then passes the ball. Wow. Wow. And I think that brings it to 30-0. 30-0 to Australia. Incredible outcome so far.
30-0 for our American friends back home. If you don't use the word nil.
Ah.
I mean, we do.
Thank you. All right. Oh, I think that's...
Big dodge there.
Big beater play. He gets the beat on Miles. But Damo's there to pick it up. He goes through one player.
Right through Archibald. Damo just trucking right through Jake Archibald as if he's not there.
And we got brooms down now. Now there's a few things here that it was a very tight series of plays. There was some bludger play that might have been a bit risky, a bit unsure. Something about an immunity call and replay incoming though. There's the beat on yeah. So the bludger the quaffle might have been carried a little bit. The contact on Damo looks good. Oh, it's a timeout. It's a timeout. A timeout. The Australians are ecstatic.
Here's that cow-mailing manticore.
Oh, what is that? What is that?
Takes up, absorbs all of the defense, dishes it out. Here's another one. Here's Australia's drive. Look at the speed.
And there he dodged. Oh, the spin. Oh.
Shakes off a tackle.
Here's the cow-mailing drive. Oh, yep.
It's right through the top hoop.
I do love cow-mailing's swinging shots. Like he doesn't throw with he throws with his whole arm, and sometimes he loops it, which usually is like a terrible thing to do, but it works for him. Cow-mailing just doesn't make any sense. Like he does things that you can't do, and he does them. It doesn't make any sense.
He defies physics.
He does. So the score is now 40-0 towards Australia.
Sitting at roughly 5-6 minutes of game time.
I don't know if this was called as a timeout. It looks like it has been. It was? It was called as a timeout, I'm being told.
USA.
I'm surprised because I guess they called it very quickly. Which is good from the refs. It just shows quality reffing. So it looks like the call is being called good. They were just deliberating that call. The call looks like it stands. And we're back in.
Jake Archibald.
We've now got Havlin and Lulu beating. Oh, Axel makes the drive. Oh, and he's got every player on him. Every player on him.
This is not a replay of the Australia play.
And we're called Brooms down. I see a little advantage marker dropped. Damo has stopped. Damo is still as a statue.
Being inspired by his
his last performance. When he caught the snitch. Oh, a yellow card. Looks like we've got yellow card to an Australian. Looks like it was Damien Osborne.
Contact over the shoulder. High contact.
High contact, yep. Or contact over the shoulder. Wow, this is, okay. So here's Derek. All right, so Derek here is going to try and knock the quaffle out of the way. I love it.
Start with the ball right in the hoop. Totally legal.
I don't see Miles' hand in there though.
It is completely as where it could be.
Yep. Okay.
As a goal, as it should be. Axtell puts USA on the board.
But puts USA on the board. Wow.
Australia here with the quaffle.
So we've got Lulu and Havlin now, I think, on American beating. James Williams and
Havlin
Nathan
with an
Morton
amazing catch. Keeps
Nathan
Ledger
Morton
possession.
His immunity is getting played with. Oh, Teos Rawson getting a hand to it. She gets beat out. Oh, here's the big run.
With the drive.
Miles is in the way though, and he scores.
Huge goal for the United States there.
That is an important goal for the US.
Jake Archibald.
Wow.
Bringing some life back into his team, runs back to his bench cheering.
Oh, a big beater battle there from Morton. Miles is making the drive, but he's got everyone on top of him. The ball goes loose to Damien Osborne. He gets hit from behind. That might be, that seemed like a lot of contact, but the rest, but no, apparently it's all good. And we're called Brooms down. We'll see what happens. That to me looked like a lot of contact on his back.
Looked like an advantage call for the Australians.
I've been trying to look around the posts. It's just here. That is a different Nathan Morton chant now to the tune of Game of Thrones. Amazing from the Australians. I want to see some more support from the US.
Their cheers are a little simpler. Less Game of Thrones, more spelling.
Replay. We've got a replay coming up now. Oh, no.
We're going
to hold on that. It looks like they might be about to.
Here's that block. Here's that Jake Archibald goal.
Here's that, yes.
Beautiful work.
Beautiful shot. All right, looks like they're going to come back in. We're back in now.
Still USQ's ball. I guess
Archibald taking it upfield.
no call there.
Hammerwitz now carrying. Lulu with the beat on Williams. Good beat. Oh, risky there. Oh, very risky. Very risky.
Taken down is the US player.
Oh.
Dishes the ball out. Turtled by the Australian defense.
The Australian beaters there are losing all of their bludgers in a risky play. And we've got an advantage call. We're going to have to see what it is. It looks like they're saying above, they're gesturing above high. Oh, that's a nice breeze. All right, looks like they decided. Looks like maybe no, perhaps no call. Now they're explaining it. And we've just passed the 1,000 viewer mark. All right, looks like the ball's going to the Americans.
Truly is a World Cup. Hello, viewers from all around the world.
Looks like contact above the neck. It looks like no card was given.
US
Archibald's
ball.
stepping back out. That's probably a good idea. Although there's no bludge in the Australian defense. Cass Menkos with the big tackle. Morton with the timely beat, and it goes back to the hands of Miles Newton.
America there with going for a behind the back pass, but it was cut out by the Australian defense.
The Australians have more chance. All right, now we've got Neil Noyle Chemister coming up pitch. Little pass off to Miles. We've got Dean Rodhouse flanking around. It's not going to work on Lulu.
Harry Greenhouse marking him.
The shot misses Havlin.
Behind the hoops.
Oh, but Morton's won both bludgers, but they've both gone off pitch. It looks like the quaffle's going to go back to the Americans, and the Australians don't have any bludgers.
Jake Archibald
And
dishes it off.
here's the drive. Here's the drive.
Here comes Harry
Peter Rawson's
Greenhouse
in the way.
himself.
He steps. Neil's in the way. He survives. He loses his broom. And Neil turtles. Neil does not turtle. The American is, wow.
Greenhouse is just trying to get to his broom, guys.
Yeah. Greenhouse looks he's diving on the ball. He's actually diving for his broom. He wants to get out of there. Wow, what a tackle from Neil. Neil Chemister, famous for the foot catch a couple months ago in the 2017 Australian State Shield. Cal Mailing back on now. We've got Dean Rodhouse and Morton on for Australian beaters. We've got, I think it is Lulu. I think it's Lulu.
Havlin with some acrobatic dodging there, maintaining bludger possession. The Americans reset that drive. Rewind a bit. Mailing with the quaffle for Australia.
The American chants going. Now the Australian chants are going. I love it. With the Thunderstruck theme. Dean Rodhouse looking to flank, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work on these two beaters. Havlin picking him off. Derek's now subbed on. Dean and Derek is a good pair. The Americans are pressing back up. They're pacing, they're stepping down. They're pacing it.
America with superiority right now. Havlin and Zhu both with bludgers. America setting up that defense.
You can see Dean and Derek and Havlin trade. Oh, Havlin survives. Havlin manages to catch. Throwing the Australian bludger off. Cal Mailing though. Cal Mailing not being phased. It's very hard to face Cal Mailing. He's a very calm, low-key kind of guy. Australians looking for another bludger attack. Dean again stepping around. You can look at that stare between Derek and Havlin. Big bludger throw. Doesn't hit any American beaters. Cal Mailing just
Here comes
kind of
Zhu
backpedaling,
chasing Cal Mailing.
He gets beat out! And the American's going to get there first. He makes the drive.
Good spin move. Taken down. Huge hit by Cal Mailing.
But the turtle's strong. Neil turtles hard. Neil is turtle.
A nice header up there.
And Neil's off. Wow. That was a great run from Langlanese. Luke Langlanese. But what do you do against Cal Mailing? And I see the Australians pulling out their interesting little multi-tackling techniques.
Tasman and Derek
nice there
both
from
on
Derek.
the ball.
Nice little beat. Picking up point chases. I noticed the American beaters have gone closer back to the hoops now. Denny Tasman flanking low.
Looking
Derek not
crafty
looking to
by the
pressure, though.
hoops.
Yeah, Denny's a crafty little guy. Nice little beat there from the American female beater. I think it's number 21. I can't see now. Big beat there from 12. From Fields, rather.
Big beat there, but no Americans to recover the quaffle.
And we've got Brooms down. There's a bit of argument. He's walking up to Emily Mary. He's pulling out his cards. And they've given a blue card for an illegal procedure. 18.
Emily Mary.
Reason is for illegal procedure? I don't know what. So it's for an illegal procedure. I'm not sure what it was. This bigger matchup, Denny Tasman, Luke Derrick up against, what have we got? That is Fields, I believe. Jackson and Fields. Bailey Fields and Jackson Johnson.
Jackson Johnson. You can't trust a man with two first names.
He is the most American name. Oh, nice little throw from Denny. That was interesting. I bet that was totally intentional. Denny there baiting out a beat.
Greenhouse
Quaffle goes to the
taken
ground.
down.
Cal gets Cal kicks the ball out.
Trudeau goes down.
Go back to the Americans. We've got a brooms out. It might be called. Given that kick, it might have been for a kicking in danger. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any indication from the refs.
Showmanship there, though.
Yeah, nice bit of sportsmanship there from the two. From Trudeau and Cal the mailman.
Looks like he might have got a boot to the face. Respect to him, though, for getting back up. And limping himself back to the pitch.
That was probably a nice kick, though, from Cal. Like, as in, the choice to kick there was interesting. Really puts the quaffle away. He was running after him. There's no one in front of him. He did get beat out, but
the ref having words with Tyler Trudeau. No call being made.
Are we back in now? Nikita Van Houten letting the Americans get the ball, which is wise. There's a beater down there. And we're seeing now bludger control with the Australians. And they're singing for Denny Tasman. American beaters planning out what they're going to do. Gets the beat on Denny.
Trudeau passes wide.
Americans, nice work there from big beater battles. Australians have all the bludgers. Quaffle's on the ground. And that looks like it was a charge in on Brandon Fission. First off, continuing to interact with a player who didn't have a ball, though he may not have known, so I'd let that pass. I might let that pass. Like, if I was the ref, I might have let that pass. I don't know what they'll do. Trudeau there dropping on the ball, kind of a sliding. Yeah, he's been carded. Yep. All right. You can see it. You can see that looked like it hurt Frison's hand. Sliding in.
The chance of you can't do that from the Australian side.
I love that chant. Of course, the Australians doing that for themselves and they get carded. They probably enjoy it more when they get carded. Brandon not choosing to go. He's got Harry Greenhouse in front of him. So it's probably a wise choice. Derek pacing up, Denny coming up behind. We've got Jackson Johnson and Haley Fields.
Danny Tasman coming in, though.
Bailey Fields, apologies. Denny resetting a bludger nicely. Oh, Derek dodging a bludger.
Huge
the beat
though.
Gets in. No good. Called no good. That might have been a pass after beat. Although there's a bludger interaction.
Lots of stoppages.
Yeah. They're giving the bludger to Bailey Fields.
And the ball looks like it's going back to the U.S. team.
Derek has been dismounted. So that turns bludger control over to the Americans, I believe. Or not. They're making the drive.
Here.
But you don't. Driving on Denny's a risky proposition.
Huge block from Calamailing, shutting down Harry Greenhouse.
He pulls the ball out.
Langley strips the ball.
The beater comes in. The American beater's coming in. Oh!
Never give up, never surrender.
Drives through. Not one, not two, but 3 chases. Oh! What? What was that? The American driving through 3 chases, getting the pass off and scoring. While everyone's still celebrating, Cal Mailing picks up the ball and sprints it down pitch. Wow, incredible. The score is 50-30 to the Australians right now. We're 14 and a half minutes in. This is still definitely anyone's game. The bludger game is very even. We've got beater subs now for the Americans.
Aren's playing keeper.
Bringing up Haley Pace, and I can't quite see his number. I don't recognize him off by his face. Number 19, Cole Travis. Haley Pace and Cole Travis. I believe these two have played together. No, they don't. All right. We're not sure. I believe they both played the Austin Outlaws. Apologies to all of the American supporters if I'm wrong. Nice work there from the Americans, keeping the quaffle alive.
Aren's and Trudeau forced back into their own zone by the Australians. High defense.
And the Seeker's already ready. Jonah O'Brien already in position. Big bludger play, but no beaters in the Australian defense. But he's not running forward because look at these Australians got in front of him. Cal Mailing, Ozzy Osmond.
Bermudez to Aren's, resets it back up to the middle.
His name's not actually Ozzy Osmond, that's what we call him. Chase Osmond, as he's more often known. Less often, really. James Williams stepping up high. I'm loving the flickbacks from these teams. And it scores! Flicks it through. Beautiful goal. Incredible goal. 40-50 to the Australians.
The last 2 goals for the U.S. scored by Julia Bear.
Denny
in the right place at the wrong time if you're Australia.
Yeah.
In the right place at the right time if you're the Americans. 40-50.
Derek and Williams there swapping bludgers, which is interesting. I guess Williams was having a bit of trouble holding it. Derek has got enormous hands. He could crush the skull of a small animal. That's not a nice comparison. He could crush something hard to crush. Pressure on Cal Mailing. He just backpedals calmly. Cal Mailing and Cass Menkhorst on together. They play together. The Seekers are on. We've got Greenhouse and Neil. Greenhouse gets beat out. Neil Chemister here. Oh!
Huge deflection.
Big deflection.
Augie Monroe
Derek's
playing beater right now.
And we're brooms down. We're brooms down. What? We're swapping the snitch shots. Okay. Wow. Don't give us a heart attack like that. We hear the brooms down and we see the snitch with no tag.
It's come off twice, just randomly.
Right. Okay.
The shorts don't even want to play in this game. Even the shorts are scared. But you can see there next to the snitch, Augustine Monroe with the black headband playing beater.
We've got what looks like a British snitch here. Big fella. Strong guy. The snitch? Alex Greenhouse. This Hausch. Okay, the snitch is Alex Greenhouse. Apologies, thank you. Thank you to Chris Thomas for pointing that out. Team UK Reserve.
Team World, I believe.
Wow. Wow, we're hearing he's engaged as of an hour ago. Congratulations to Alex Greenhouse. And Gemma Thripp.
Quid couples for the win.
Getting engaged at the World Cup.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah.
Way to upstage a USA-Australia game. You couldn't wait till after? These shorts have just magically
We've got some new shorts.
happened to be here. So the game can continue. Will it fit? Yeah, there we go.
Can we get some cheering for the engagement?
I think they're just cheering for that squat.
Wow. Team Snitch.
Chance for Team Snitch now being heard around the audience.
I would be keen for a Snitch victory. I want to see as much of this game as possible. I think it'll be unlikely given the quality of Seekers here, but given the quality of beating.
It came down to Snitch the last time these two teams played. One Snitch catch got disallowed. The second Snitch catch was rather testy. So close. If you're an American supporter.
Ooh.
Tensest moment of your life.
Big beat from Luke Derrick there. Oh, Greenhouse got an open Snitch. No, he doesn't. Williams picking him off. Bludger control going back to the Americans. The drive going through. It gets to Alita's hands, back to the keeper. This is so far a low-scoring game compared to last time. Only 50-40. Big trade in the center. Greenhouse getting a lot of one-on-one time. The Americans, Monroe just holding down the Snitch. Neil's not allowed in. Gets the beat off. Oh.
Nice pass into center. Australia on the board again. But here comes Simon Lorenz.
Oh, he dodges
turnover.
Mailing, and he scores.
Answers immediately.
50-60 now. Oh, and that's a big behind contact and a lift. Oh, a lot of big bludger play. All the bludgers are in the Australian half, all in the same spot. The Americans aren't going to get them back.
Greenhouse versus Kempster versus
All
the
the Snitch
Snitch.
still safe. Oh! Oh!
Just tickling the Snitch tail there. Hand on the tail.
Neil a little bit hurt. The Snitch fell heavily on his arm. Is Neil okay? We'll have to see. He doesn't really look it.
Crawling back to his broom, though, not calling for a sub.
Neil, you okay? Neil says he's okay. There's a beater next to him, though, so he's not going to get another attempt. Greenhouse got one-on-one time now with the Snitch. Oh, Greenhouse close.
Greenhouse
Luke
versus
Derrick's
Greenhouse.
eyeing him up.
Derrick facing off with Monroe here.
Oh, Derrick with the fake, getting a foul. Oh! Oh!
The live stream camera was beat.
Thank you, Morton. Morton finally picking off the seeker. Very, very nearly a catch there for Greenhouse.
Snitch
And
was
can
down.
you even follow this quaffle game? Oh! Alley-oop! Beautiful alley-oop there.
Huge goal for
Apologies,
the
headphone
US.
users, if that was too loud. Oh, Derrick double beating a player.
Fantastic play by
Monroe
Derrick here.
catching the bludger there, and Derrick picking up another one and hitting him before he can control. Beautiful work there. Oh!
Huge beat from Australia.
Oh, the face beat. Oh, a deflection.
Nice deflection from Havlin.
Morton manages to pick it up.
Monroe
The
is beaten,
Australians have all
sent
the
back.
bludgers. Brought on Simon Spanner. I have played against Spanner. Rather, I've stood by it as. Oh, he's not a seeker you want to face with his long arms and his strength. The Australians have the bludgers again. Big. Oh.
Tyler Trudeau now on as a seeker for the Americans.
We've got number 33 now, looking for the opening.
Marino.
He's not going to find it. More battles, more battles. Morton winning the center. The Australians have the center again. Damo on. Oh! Damo had his hands on the Snitch as the Snitch was falling. Didn't manage to get his fingers to it.
Looking for a repeat of their last time.
Yeah. He gets beat out. He gets beat out. One-on-one time. Oh!
Trudeau.
Incredible. I think they're going to... Wow.
Trudeau with the reach around.
To Trudeau.
Using one hand, gets blocked, switches hands quickly.
Wow. I think he might have been impeded. He was kind of fell on the Snitch's leg. But, well, I don't know. We'll see. It's up to what the Snitch says. If the Snitch felt impeded. We're going to have to see. The Snitch is shaking his head. He may be disappointed with himself because he looked pretty disappointed himself when that happened. He's walking off.
We're at 66.
I think the Snitch thinks that was good because he's walking
Here's
off.
a replay.
We got a replay.
Here's the catch.
Oh, on the replay.
One more time.
And they call that good.
The catch is good. Tyler Trudeau with the catch
Wow.
for USA.
Incredible. 90-60 to the US. Wow.
Hashtag redeem team in name, in nature.
Wow. Incredible game. That really could have been anyone's at any point. Both teams had very close catches. Incredible. I can't really put either team above the other one in beta play. Wow.
Both teams trading bludger possession, trading quaffle possession. Australia at the top looking rather dominant. But once the USA, found their groove.
They hit their stride. It leveled it out really well. Wow. I don't think the Snitch was too pleased there, the way he was shaking his head at himself and walking off. But you know, that's Quidditch, right?
These two teams hugging it out now.
Incredible. Incredible work there to Trudeau. Great catch. Great effort to everyone on pitch. I would have given a special call out to the beaters. Wow.
Fantastic play here.
110% at all times as well.
That's why we play. That's why we watch.
Wow.
I'm sure our analysts are going to have a lot to say after that match.
All right, we're going to... Tell them. We're going to hand over now to the analyst desk. Do you want to jump over there?
All right, good. Suraj, you know what you're talking about?
Yeah, there we go. So I'm here with Matt and Monique here. What a game we just witnessed. Where do you want to start?
I don't even know where to start. That game had everything. I think let's start with the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Australia coming out very strong, very strong. USA had a lot of trouble penetrating the defense. They were trying to take a slow, methodical approach. It didn't really seem to be working for them early.
I thought they looked nervous as well.
A little bit.
I saw the beaters making a few errors, unexpected errors, but I think maybe there's a little bit of nerves there.
Coming into this game, who do you think would have been feeling more pressure? The
US.
Absolutely the United States.
Well, I think they would have wanted to win more.
Absolutely.
Maybe there's more pressure on Australia having won the last game.
I'm not so sure about that.
So you could see those nerves on their faces for the first half, but then the tides turned a little bit and they kind of found their stride.
I think the real game changer was the timeout.
Absolutely.
They clearly changed up their strategy and started to play a lot more clinically after that.
I think certainly the nerves we talked about were a big part of the early game, I think. But turning around, having the timeout, everyone, recollect yourself, settle down. I think, at least to me, it looked like they came out a little more poised after the timeout, a little more on top of things, a little more confident. Still very much a close game, very much kind of on the ropes for a little bit there, but much more poised coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, definitely. The beta pair that was on, 14 and 18, before the timeout, like I said, looking a little bit scrappy, came out and made some fantastic plays. The female player in particular, I saw a gorgeous catch. She managed to get all 3 bludgers back in their half, and yeah, a really solid play.
Yeah, so let's talk about the beater play a bit, because I think that's what dominated the pace of this game on both sides of the fence, the US team and the Australian team. Who do you think stood out?
So tactically, I thought it was interesting. Both started with double male to try and get the control, then switched into male-female beta rotations, and then double male again for Snitch on pitch. So that's my first observation.
Absolutely. I think that's probably where the U.S. wanted to be for Snitch on pitch, because I think they needed to try and get the edge in the beater game.
And they still did struggle.
Absolutely,
it was
yes.
so intense, the beta play.
I think the Australians did a very good job of neutralizing the offensive beating of the United States. Oftentimes, when they play maybe less good teams than Australia, you'll see a lot of kind of leading in by the beaters. They'll be able to get them quickly up the field, and then it's a few jukes and a score. Whereas the Australian beaters were really giving the USA beaters a hard time on those offensive looks.
They were struggling to counter that. They were really getting a little bit outmatched right at the beginning, but again, that timeout seemed to change things up a little bit.
The pacing of the game, did you find it was slower than you expected going into this, or were you expecting a level of that kind of patience and following?
For me, in the beginning, they were feeling each other out a bit, so it was slower in the beginning. Then the middle part, very high intensity. So from the middle part, I would say was definitely what I was expecting in terms of intensity.
I feel about the same. Maybe a little slower than I expected, but it made for an interesting game, and I think that it certainly helped the teams feel each other out to see where they could go.
And I think another point is neither of these teams will be used to playing such high opposition. They're used to kind of being the big fish in a small pond. So then to come up against someone who's really could beat you, I think is an unusual scenario for both.
Certainly. I think that's apparent in the way that the United States was driving against the Australian defense. When the U.S. beaters could get bludgers on the ground and the United States had a chance to pass and drive through the Australian defense, you saw a lot, especially the players from Texas, trying to just run through the tackle, and it wasn't working. it wasn't working a lot of the
big
time.
hitters, Australia.
They're huge hitters, and they're probably, I watched the U.S. face Ireland and Italy earlier today. There were no hits. The U.S. essentially waltzed into the keeper zone 90% of the time with minimal effort. In this particular instance, there was staunch defense from the Australians that made it very difficult for guys like Luke Langlanay, guys like Marty Bermudez, guys like Jake Archibald to just drive it right in. They were getting stopped like stones.
Something I'd like to talk about is the impact of having no backcourt rule in this World Cup. I know when we play in the UK and in the States, they have a backcourt, and you saw there Australia got carded for delay of game. I think that maybe had a strong impact on the pace of the game, because you could see the US beaters wanted to press, but when there's no backcourt, a press is very, very rarely an effective play.
Yeah, I saw a few times that you'd have beaters kind of do that, drop in, but there was no chasers there to pick up the ball, so it was essentially moot.
Well, but what they were doing is they were going up for the press, but then the quaffle carrier would just run back or pass it back into their own keeper zone. So in a way, it's a waste of energy to keep trying to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the U.S. actually did a fairly good job of being prepared for the press. We saw their beaters come up, multiple chasers coming up, taking away the passing options, trying to corner the quaffle so that they could get an actual turnover in the keeper zone. But when you can back up infinitely and have people, as you back up to your hoops, the beaters have a shorter way to get back and tag back in. Your chasers have a shorter way to tag back in. It makes it very difficult. And I think we really slowed down in the middle of the game there when the U.S. had bludger control. They were trying to press, and Australia was able to back up multiple times. And then after a little time, the same thing happened in the opposite direction. Australia didn't try and press as much, but on the few occasions that they did, the United States was able to back off and kind of compose themselves and slow down the pace of the game.
Yeah, it was definitely noticeable difference to some of the Quidditch you'll see where there is a backcourt rule in place.
Any standout players on either team for you?
So there were 2 goals there for Julia Bear for the US. One I think was a little bit more scrappy, but one was just absolutely fantastic. He received the pass perfectly and wanged it straight through the small hoop.
I think she's the only player for the U.S. that had 2 goals, I think, by my count. I could be wrong on that. But that was certainly great positioning on her part. There was a lot of driving for the U.S. and not as much passing, but when they did pass, they were passing to her, and she was completing the play.
She was finishing. Augie Monroe, shout out to him in the beta game, like some catches that were sick.
Absolutely, he was completely locking it down between him and Jackson Johnson in their dual male set. The Australian beaters had him on the ropes, certainly. But Augie
that pair was solid too.
Yeah, absolutely. Augie was keeping his composure, and he had several very clutch catches that allowed them to keep control, beat the seeker in opportune times.
Absolutely. To regain control against a bubble is one of the hardest things to do in Quidditch, and he managed it a couple times.
Absolutely.
And then I got a shout out to Trudeau, who caught the snitch.
Absolutely.
Well.
Yeah. That was a good run there.
Not an easy snitch to catch.
Certainly not. Trudeau's a really big body, very hard to stop. On the other side of the ball, I definitely want to give kudos to Damon Osborne.
Oh yeah, Damon's great.
He was doing it all. Defensive stops, big hits, huge offensive drives. Went in at Seeker for a while, and the Seeker and Snitch were right in front of us. And it was like his fingers tickled it like almost every pass. Yeah, he was so close.
I definitely saw Damo and Kenister as well from Team Australia. Both had their hand on the snitch sock but couldn't grab it. So that would be a little bit of a heartbreak for them.
Last question for you guys. Where do these teams go for here? Both of these teams coming out of that game.
Finals.
I think that's got to be it. I think this is probably the toughest match that both teams will see probably for the rest of the tournament. I don't know if anyone else can match this level. I think USA can breathe a little sigh of relief and then look forward to the next thing. They've gotten over this hump. I think Australia, this is time to regroup. It's no big deal. They're now 1-1 in international play, and hopefully they meet again in the finals to settle the score best of 3.
And just a final point is that this is a cliche, but the real winner was Quidditch today. That was an amazing match that really showcased what the sport can be. fantastic to see, great plays from both sides, so such a pleasurable game to watch.
Absolutely agree. So thank you, Monique. Thank you, Matt. We're going to be joined now by Jen Gibson, the coach of the Australia team, the Black Bears. So she's going to be joining us for a quick little interview. So thanks, guys, for all of your input.
Thank you very much.
So we're here with Jen Gibson, the coach of the Black Bears Team Australia. First of all, great match. I mean, I guess it didn't quite go as you would have wanted, but fantastic game either way.
Thank you.
How do you think your team did there?
Oh my God, I've never seen them play better. Like, I know that they caught and they won, but where for the first time ever, America's been taken out of snitch range in an international game, ever. That's never happened. And that's so exciting, not just for us, but for Quidditch. Like, the top one isn't the top one anymore. There's other top teams coming in now, and that's just so exciting to see.
So we were kind of discussing, me and the analysts, where both teams are going to go from here. Everyone's excited to see you again, probably in the finals, because as we said, this is probably the toughest match you've had so far today, and maybe for the rest of day one. But where do you go from now? How do you regroup as a team?
Oh, everyone was stoked after that match. Like, I know, as I said, like, we didn't win, but for us that was a win because we consolidated what we knew. We held them there. They ran away with us towards the end, but for 80% of that game, we had that. And that's so exciting because we know that we can fix that 20%. You know, we know we can come back stronger. We've learned from it, and next time we face them, maybe in the grand final, we'll be more prepared and more ready.
You guys started really strong. That was a testament to your team playing there. So how did you prepare, both personally as a coach for the team and as a team for this tournament, coming in as the reigning champs, coming in as number one? How do you prepare for that?
We take that quite seriously. So the way that our team was selected, we had 2 selection camps over a weekend each. Then we had 4 training camps over a weekend each month leading up to the tournament. Everyone arrived here on Sunday, and we've been training all week in the heat to adjust, so we're ready. I watch footage, I take notes, I try new things. Sometimes they don't work, but that's fine. I'm really strong on pushing people out of their comfort zone with my players. So to get that cohesion, everyone's kind of been pushed right out of where they're comfortable. But when they come back, there's that beautiful flow on pitch, and that we're seeing now. We're able to change our lines effortlessly from players from a bunch of different teams that don't normally play together. We've managed to show that level of cohesion with those players, which is really, really exciting.
When the schedule was released and you saw day one right off the bat, USA, Australia, what was going through your mind there?
Well, I feel like everyone thought that I would be like, oh no, day one USA. But for me, it's like, at least we get to face them in not a knockout. Like, we lost now, but we get a second chance. So I feel it was actually probably better to face them now and lose than to face them in the quarters and lose, or face them in the semis and lose. Like, we're prepared now, and that loss still was quite positive for us. It hasn't demoralised us at all. Like, we're super, super pleased.
It shouldn't have, because that was a fantastic
Yeah, we played really well, and it means that even though we lost, we get another chance, and you can't really complain about that.
I can't complain about that, because yes, once if, like you said, if you win or lose, if it's a knockout stages, it's all over. But now you still have the rest of day one to recoup, work on some stuff, fix what worked, fix what didn't. So, speaking of that, what do you think worked for your team on this match?
Definitely our cohesion. I also think coming in, despite what happened last World Cup, USA underestimated us a little bit with their lines, and we pushed through that first line and they switched it up and then they gained momentum. I think that our training has really come to pass. Like, our defense is looking sharp, our offense is looking sharp. Like, we know what to do and everyone on pitch is on the same page. And I think that makes a huge difference when you have a national team from all over the country. How can you possibly get everyone on the same page in a matter of months?
Yeah.
So I feel like we've really pushed that, and that shows in our game.
And without giving too much away to anybody else watching, what do you think that you guys would need to work on?
I think just playing our game. I think we let them dictate too much towards the end. Like, they started playing their game and that's when we fell apart.
Yeah.
I think if we hold on to playing the way that we play like we did at the start, I think we'll have it. We just lost that in the middle a little bit.
What other teams are you most excited to watch play?
Oh, that Belgium-France game. Whew! That was very exciting. That was really good. I was excited to see both those teams come in, and I'm so glad that that game was so close. I'm really excited also to see Team UK come up against a high-level opposition. I know that they've got Mexico, and that was a great game, but I feel like in the really, top-seeded positions, there could be some really exciting matchups there.
Because Australia's a little bit separated from the rest of the Quidditch community, especially Europe. We play each other often a lot. So it's kind of just an event like this is just great to showcase everything and bring everyone together.
Yeah, see what's been happening in 2 years. Like, who's changed, who's new, what's a new tactic around the ground?
2 years can change a lot, and especially in a new game like Quidditch.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's your goal, your end goal for this?
I want my players to walk away knowing they've done the best they can. And that was the same in 2016. Like, win or lose, we don't drop our heads. I just need to know that my players are happy with their performance, and the score to me doesn't really matter.
You don't drop your heads, you just drop the bears.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, that was terrible.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. They can be proud of what they've done here, and we can be proud that we've helped improve Quidditch around the world with what we bring to the table.
So if Team USA, last question, is the hashtag redeem team, what would you guys be?
Hashtag dream team.
Thanks so much, Jen. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Best of luck with the rest of the cup.
Thank you.
Jen Gibson from Team Australia. Thanks so much.
Excellent.